The seemingly never-ending month of October continues, and as we head deeper into spooky season, the news really is ramping up for this month. We have a very special Halloween episode of Web Wednesday coming your way next week, but for now, let's get into this week's news. And we start with a car enthusiast favourite. Honda have made some seriously enjoyable cars in their rich history, and for most, cars like the NSX, the S2000 and the Civic Type R all spring to mind as being some of the best around. Whilst all of those are very worthy models, rocketing in both value and acclaim, we wanted to talk about the Integra today. Under the Honda lineup, the Integra was near the middle, slotting above the smaller cars such as the Honda City, the Honda Civic and the Honda Logo. I'm not joking, there is actually a car called the Honda Logo, it isn't just a giant emblem with four wheels. The Honda Integra was actually considered to be a mid-sized car by Japanese standards. And we have a pretty cool fact about the Integra that not many people might not actually know about. The Integra wasn't actually a car at all, it was actually originally a motorbike. The V-twin sport bike in 1982 was known as the VT250F/Integra. The Integra motorcycle production run would actually overlap the 1985 debut of the Honda Integra automobile, and the motorcycle would then end production in 1988. After 88, the Integra model name would only be used on the Honda automobile after that, and became one of the most important cars in Honda's history. The Type R models in particular are often regarded as some of the best handling front-wheel drive cars ever made. With dynamic styling and endless possibilities when it comes to tuning, the Integra really was a special car. And we'll cue some really aggressive examples of early 2000 max power cars right here. The Integra went out of production in 2006, but strangely, Honda didn't let the name go into retirement, and in 2012, the Integra name actually returned. And even stranger, went back to the motorcycle world. But just to confuse you even more, there's now actually going to be a new Integra car coming out. And it looks like enthusiasts around the world can relax, as it's actually going to have a manual gearbox. Honda has revealed only a few teasers so far, but in this latest one, we get to experience the iconic sound of a high-rev 4-cylinder engine as it bangs through the manual gearbox, making for some glorious viewing. I don't know about you guys, but we're certainly excited to see the future of the Integra coming our way. Next, we head over to one of Apple's biggest suppliers, Foxtronn. The Taiwanese company has actually revealed a trio of prototype electric vehicles under a new brand known as Foxtronn. It includes an electric prototype SUV, an electric saloon and even a bus. They do have some rather questionable names though, and they've clearly taken some inspiration from, well, we'll let you be the judge of that. They're called the Model C, the Model E and the Model T. The two passenger cars are the first cars based on the firm's new Hon Hai Open platform, which the company says is a modular system designed to underpin a broad range of vehicles, including a saloon, an MPV, an SUV, and even a sporty GT car. Foxtronn hasn't actually named the players that are directly responsible for the new platform, but the firm has already signed partnerships with some of the world's biggest automotive brands, including Geely, Stellantis, and actually Rivian. Foxtronn says the modularity of the new electric platform means it can actually suit a range of cars, spanning between different segments as well, with power outputs ranging between 134 brake horsepower, even up to a staggering 858 brake horsepower, with targeted range figures also stretching from 186 miles to more than 497 miles. And finally, we head to Alfa Romeo, and the news that they've released some very special edition variants to the Stelvio and Giulia. Now you might have already spotted that Alfa Romeo have been giving the Giulia and Stelvio some frequent new shades of paint now and again. The special editions are coming pretty thick and fast right now, especially considering how new the Stelvio actually is, which could suggest two things. Either the car isn't actually selling as well as they expected and they need a bit of a birthday, or Alfa is actually putting that immensely rich heritage into good use and using it as an opportunity to create unique models of their own cars. But to be honest with you, we think it might be the first one in this instance. But anyway, let's not get bogged down in talking about how Alfa is struggling at the moment. The special editions give us an opportunity to talk about some classic models. Even the names are super cool, with the Stelvio and Giulia now having the GT Junior to their nameplate. And let's talk about that colour. It's called a Prare Otre, and it's as close as you'll get to the shade of a period 1300 Junior, which Alfa conveniently managed to find somewhere when photographing the cars in Milan. The Junior specials are based on the Giulia and Stelvio's Veloce trim, and we'll get a new set of alloy wheel design to complement the paint scheme, as well as new trim inside and the 1300 side profile etched into the dashboard and GT Junior stitched into the headrest. Power-wise, there is a 207 brake horsepower diesel and a 276 brake horsepower petrol engine, which for a fun fact is actually 3 times more powerful than the original 1300 GT Junior, but in what it lacks in power, it certainly makes up for in charm. And despite it all, we're happy to just see that Alfa Romeo is creating some cool cars again. and they've taken inspiration from their history and bringing the fight to those pesky Germans while they're at it, and who can complain with that? As we mentioned at the start of the show, be sure to tune into next week's episode where we bring you a very spooky edition of Web Wednesday. Take care, guys.